So this is a kind of combo control deck based around Runeterra's Frozen Thrall mechanic. So Lysandra summons this Frozen Thrall kind of enchantment when it comes into play, where it's this 1-cost landmark that counts down for 8 turns, and when it fully counts down, it eventually makes you an 8/8 with Overwhelm. And then we have a few other things. We just play copies of this card, and then we have things like Succumb to the Cold that create copies of this as well. And then we have other synergy-based things that kind of make those happen faster. So like Clockwork Curator makes our landmarks advance 2 rounds. What are some other ones? Time in the Bottle makes them advance 2 rounds. The Promising Future doubles up the effect of a countdown landmark, so you'll get 2 8/8s if you Promising Future. And then we have control elements with things like Avalanche and Ice Shards and other things to help keep us alive while we get set up for our combo kills. So let's go ahead and jump on into some games with some Taliyah Thralls and see how it goes. Let's set our cosmetics up first, though. Runeterra lets you pick the board that you play on, which is lovely. Lots of pretty emotes, too. Crawled out of the Iron Age into Bronze on their ladder yesterday, slowly working our way back up to Masters. I think this Thralls deck was listed as B tier on Mobalytics. Seems like there's a lot of playable things. They also made the aggressive deck slightly worse in Runeterra's most recent balance patch, is probably good for this deck, I imagine. Runeterra? That's the longest I've ever been in queue for this game. Did it hang? Or just nobody down in the pits like I am? The game doesn't like us playing Thralls, something like that. I think Pantheon has easily been the most popular of the champions from their latest release. I've definitely waited in queue for Pokemon Unite. Solos in Unite usually fire fast, but yes, yeah, if you're looking to, so Runeterra is free to play friendly, but if you're someone like me and doesn't really grind in any card games, Runeterra tier 1 decks are about 20 to 30 bucks to buy out, right? You can just buy the cards directly instead of gambling. That sounds pretty good. Having Thrall on 1 gives us the natural ability to pop it off relatively quickly.
Peace is a trail painted with blood. I am ready.
I think Greninja is still pretty good, Citrus. The music is very, very chill on this board.
I will die.
So,
Ready.
they could have a 1-mana pump spell here. I don't think there's a ton of those, though. So, attacking and blocking in Runeterra is similar to Magic. One player declares attackers, the other declares blockers, with the asterisk that it is a 1-to-1 process. 1-to-1 process only. Zarina is definitely very good and slightly overtuned at the moment.
I will bury the world in ice.
There is a limit of 6 things that you can have on your board.
You cannot fight the code.
This attack is interesting because she is tough, so like they took 2 damage on their thing for me to put 1 on here. And promising futures, this, and then it's gonna go to countdown 2 at the start of their turn, and then my time in a bottle will let me pop this. Yes, if you are hanging out from the magic section, make sure you refresh your stream, and you'll be able to mouse over things. Mouse over cards. The faded keyword, though, means the first time this gets targeted in a round by an ally card, it gets +1/+1 permanently. They rallying? Oh, we're fighting. Sure, that doesn't really matter. So now I don't want to attack this into here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass. Yeah, Twitch doesn't do it automatically, which is annoying. This advances all allied landmarks. Okay, so do I do this and get 8/8s on defense here? Or do I get a little greedy and play this out first so that way I can have this one tick down too? I probably don't need more 8/8s from this, right? Yeah, so Runeterra has a priority-based system similar to Magic where players go back and forth playing cards. Oh no, this is only 1. I'm wrong. It's Anne. I'm dumb. Ignore me, chat. And this predicts, lets me put a card of my choice on top of my deck. Taliyah's not really close to leveling. I think we just take the other promising future here. Because we'll be able to get this one set up to make some 8/8s here. Yeah, so the best way to think about Runeterra's turn structure is it's as if in Magic, both players untap and draw a card every turn, with the resource system being a linear progression similar to Hearthstone, where each player just gains a resource each turn. There's a little bit of a twist on that resource system in that you can carry over 3 mana between turns, kind of put it in the bank. Yes, you can also attack with things if it's your turn to attack, the turn they come into play. So I'll attack with these 8/8 tramplers, basically. It's like the equivalent of Overwhelm. And they can block these, but they can only block with 1 thing each. So Overwhelm is actually much more powerful in this game than Trample is in Magic because blocking is 1-1. The eye here tells me how combat's going to play out. So it shows me that my thing's gonna get 1 damage marked and 2 damage marked, and then my opponent's gonna take 10 damage. So if you ever have any questions about how combat's going to work before you click the OK button to let it resolve, you can check that out. If I had instance like this that I wanted to play there, we could have played that to impact the board. Let's go ahead and promising future this landmark. Try and get it set up just in case these aren't enough. You know, here I had 4 mana left over, but only 3 came across. You can only bank 3 mana across turns. They stunned my Frostguard Thrall here. Pretty stunning turn for the opponent.
Come on in. Onwards.
So going to 5. I could frostbite this. So this either generates me a frostbite or it can entomb something into a frozen tomb. I think I want to try and frozen tomb this. So that way it can't block me next turn. This gives them a chance to respond because it's a fast spell. So if they have something like a spell shield, like a bastion here, we could get got. Just sharp sight's not a big deal. Sure. Okay, so they are very dead to open attacks here. So open attacks in Runeterra refers to you starting your turn by attacking. Even though things can attack the turn you play them in Runeterra, it is often advantageous to attack right away on your turn, because if you play a creature, a unit out, your opponent then gets a chance to play a creature or a slow spell before you attack. So leveraging the priority system and how you think about when you take your moves is very important. The uptime on the bot appears to be very broken. If you're on desktop, there should be an uptime thing right under the player. We've been live for about 2 hours. I have to sign off a little bit early today, so we ended Magic a little bit early, so I can still fit in Runeterra and Rune King. Ha! We were actually talking about Soraka Kench the other day, and whether or not this deck was still playable. I bet this matchup's probably pretty good for us, because we create things that are very large. I think I full mulligan here, looking for... We really need a Frozen Thrall to get started. Perfect, and the Lysandra makes a Frozen Thrall. The opponent's deck is kind of a pseudo-prison deck with Tom Kench, where he makes these acquired tastes to each your units that you have in play. And then Soraka heals him up so he can keep eating things. This is an alternate win con. Every time they heal something, this counts up, and they've healed 22 or more, they win the game.
I will bury the world in ice.
So, because of a card like Starspring, it's actually incorrect for me to block their Soraka if they attack, I think. Something to note. I mean, most decks in Runeterra are pretty easy to obtain. If you're someone that likes games like Slay the Spire, honestly, the best way to poke back in is to check out their new single player mode, the Path of Champions. But I definitely haven't played enough to have strong opinions on decks so far. Runeterra also just had a pretty big patch, so I don't think people quite know yet what's good or bad.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
Yeah, so Kench gets to start gobbling up my friends here. I don't have anything else to do this turn. We're kind of just waiting on things to make this pop off.
I don't change fate, but I can see it.
I can see it.
By starlight, take heart.
This'll take a chill off.
So this counts down and draws me an extra card this turn. Kench gets another acquired taste.
There's a meal.
Promising Futures stack, right? If I promising futures this, it adds 1, so this will make 3 when it fully counts down. If I promising futures it. Is this bounty board? It is not. You'll always see sponsored or whatever in the title if it's bounty board. We're just playing Runeterra because I like it. I take it whenever it's up on the bounty board because I also like it, but their format seems pretty reasonable at the moment, so we're just playing it to play it. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 decks a week again. What happens if I... What if we entomb this in response? Was the card Three Sisters Maid always fleeting, or am I misremembering?
Embrace the calm.
Oh, this makes another one of these, which actually isn't great for us. Was always fleeting. Okay, I'm misremembering. I'm gonna go ahead and pass here.
Pablo's been down, but his knee out.
He's not out. I don't really want to attack it and give them things to heal.
I weave my own fate.
My channel says it's hosting someone. No, it looks fine here. Just loaded myself.
With purpose.
Who's gonna close up?
Feel the power of true ice.
This worked out well for us. I got to fully heal that. Really want a card that counts us down too, so we can make some big ends next turn.
It's a big responsibility to shepherd stars. Oh, you're all so cute. I feel better when you feel better.
Oh, I don't require a menu.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a wrong half problem for ourselves this game. I wonder if this deck has an appropriate mix of. I feel like there might be too many sweepers in this build, and I might want to make it a little bit more linear.
I've already won the war.
Avalanches and the landmark and ice shards is a lot. Isn't there a 5-mana thing that advances landmarks too? Yeah, this deck definitely a little prone to the wrong half problem, but like having 8 sweepers definitely doesn't help. There's no Inquisitors in this build either. That's probably right though. This one can be awkward with your board space. The 5-drop's better than the 8-drop. I think I just want more. Is the thing. I think I just want like 2 of these. Well, so I understand why they don't include this card. I think in a lot of instances, this is probably better than the Inquisitor because this card This card makes you a landmark on turn 5, which is really slow, and it just sits there and eats up bench space. Gonna coward split these. We'll play 6 of the sweepers. Thanks for the follow. Peace and love. I'm gonna try toggling sub mode off for Runeterra today. We'll see how that goes. If it's annoying like in Magic, we can always change it, but we'll give it a chance. We'll live dangerously today. This actually seems fine. Alright, we just cut a bunch of sweepers from our deck, chat, and we immediately queued into aggro. Let's see how it goes. Will we regret this decision? Narrator, he will almost assuredly regret this decision. That to the top. Yeah, especially with the predict cards. 8 sweepers seems like so many. Alright, if they don't open attacks here, this avalanche is gonna slaughter them.
Safety will cost.
So we're gonna take 3, and then we're gonna take 1 more from this next turn. But then I get to go ahead and Taliyah, copy my Frozen Thrall that's on 1. So then next turn I get to make 8. 2 8/8s.
Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the ground.
Hey, thanks, Mines. You have monster harpooned my Taliyah. The real monsters are about to appear, though, champ.
I talk to spirits.
The real monsters are about to enter the battlefield. Nice, that's great. So Lyssandra's gonna drop us. Oh, and she's leveled here too.
Yeah, you don't.
Nice.
Ages pass, but I am eternal. All things grow cold.
Lysandra gives our Nexus. Thank you, anonymous subgifter. I appreciate it. Gives our Nexus tough, which is extra good in a matchup like this. Their champions are only 3 out of 5 towards leveling. This is 5 8+ costs, and it leaves them 3 non-champion cards. I really like where this card ended up at. The design on this is really good compared to what it used to be. Was not a fan of this thing's previous designs, and I feel like they got it to a really good spot here finally. So they could throw away their board to push 1 damage and get a trigger here. They've decided instead they would like to concede. Reasonable.
Their death serves greater purpose.
Can someone send me an NFT of a playable Teemo deck? What is leveling in this game? So every champion card in Runeterra has 2 levels to it. I think some of them have 3 technically. But they generally have 2 levels where when you meet a certain condition, they level up and become a more powerful version of themselves. So a lot of Runeterra decks are built around the idea of enabling your champion to hit that next level. And in our case for Lysandra, our Lysandra levels up and we've summoned 2 8+ cost things. So this is technically a Thrall, so we're going to keep that one. I'm going to mulligan the rest of these, looking for cheaper ways to advance this or copy it, I think. You get to partial mulligan in Runeterra. And perfect, so we have Preservarium for turn 2. And we have a promising futures here for this. Is this card good? Create a random landmark with countdown in hand or advance your landmarks 1 round. I guess it advances them 1. But this card seems like it's maybe bad. I'm not a fan of this one. This deck list that we're playing, I just started with as a net deck off of Mobilitix. I guess we just pass here. Like, we're burning 1 mana, but they're burning 3. Wow, denied. They sacked a mana crystal to do that though, so that seems good. Time in a bottle, baby. Ow, ow, do. I'll put Taliyah on top, so next turn we'll have 5. And we'll get to Preservarium, tick this to 2. Then the following turn, this will go to 1, and we'll Taliyah copy it on 1. Right? Man, their opening hand was super awkward, huh? Okay, this is fine. They're gonna get 1 big attack in here, but we're gonna get to fill the board with big scaries next turn. So it's our turn to have the attack token now. We get to go ahead and Taliyah, copy this. Oh, and then I could actually use the imagined possibilities here to get aggro, right? Okay, yeah, that's the line. Advance your landmarks by 1. It's focus speed. All right. YOLO. Smash.
You'll see me, yes?
Seeing some of the appeal here. A little bit of a bad block from the opponent, maybe. Should have put their, this says overwhelm, so they should have put their 1/1 in front of the Taliyah. They would have saved 2 life, unless there's a reason why they want to be lower on life.
Embrace life.
Expect death. Fight, die.
You're ruining everything!
So this lets Kindred mark this for death. But that's like also not a big deal, so it's gonna slay this. So now I get to do this, and then next turn we get to drop the Clockwork Hand, which will let me advance this. And they don't have, well, they don't have Ruination mana. So I think I'm supposed to Clockwork Hand, right? If they had Ruination mana, we'd open, but I don't think there's a reason not to do this, right? You wish Kindred was a better card? I don't. I think cards like Kindred, if they're too pushed, tend to be kind of toxic. I think they have to be really conservative about the power level of They have to be really conservative about the power level of cards that are strong outside of combat. Because if you can't interact with something via combat, it makes it much harder for a lot of decks to get it off the board. Thanks for the follow. Greatest threat. Yeah, I'm really glad they keyworded focus instead of the awkward burst you could only play during your whatever speed. What answer did they have to open attacks? I don't know. But the only thing that punishes me is Ruination, right? Is there something that punishes me other than Ruination that they don't have mana for? Trust me. Trust me. Opponent did do a little bit of Sudoku there. Going on, Draven Store. I was excited to come back to Runeterra after a little while and see that Draven had finally gotten smacked with a small nerf bat. Taking the third point of toughness off of things is a big deal. Is Draven still played at the 3-2? The 3-2 stat line? I haven't seen a ton of him, but I also haven't played that many hours since I've been back into Runeterra. He does still see play. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that he still sees play. The card's very good. The extra cards enable a lot of things. Good. Those are the best changes. The ones that bring the good cards down and leave them still playable. Oh, have the mid-range Draven deck's been pushed out of the format? Alright, so we can't do anything here with our mana, but we also don't lose it, so it's not that big of a deal. We'll be able to spend that on Promising Future next turn. We have to draw an extra card next turn as well. Tri-Beam was nerfed. That makes me happy. I think Tri-Beam is one of my least favorite Runeterra designs. That card is just an RNG fiesta. Because not only does it create a random thing, but it's also much better if it was in your opening hand versus not. Which is not particularly pleasant. Can we survive this elite onslaught here? To get to our 8-8 friends.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
That's fine. They have a rally, we could be in trouble. Do I want to Taliyah here and copy this one on 4? Could be right to just get our avalanche set up here. Thanks for the follow, Talon. And I think we just try and start clearing out their Dorkos. What does Bandletree do that's variance based? Our elite's good. I don't think they're a tier deck. I've been out of Runeterra for a little bit, so I haven't. We're bronze 3 right now. So take both what I and my opponents are playing with a little bit of a grain of salt. We're all just trying to figure out things down here in the pits. We only have 7 resources here. I guess I could theoretically have 2 Frostbites next turn. So this is 4 to Frostbite, and this is 4 to Frostbite. So That means I need 8 total mana. So long as I don't use the spell mana, we'll be able to double Frostbite next turn. So I think we just Taliyah here.
There's so much to see.
What? Easy end round. I'm not sure why you did that, Scissor. I think that comment from Nax was fine. Oh, they have Jarvan. Oh, we drew another one of these. That's exciting. So we're dead to a rally.
I will weave my own path.
If they don't have a rally, we're actually in a pretty good spot.
Faster than the wind.
They could have the 4 mana rally though. Would definitely end the game here. They always got it, chat. Please just be single combat. Please just be single combat. Please just be single combat. Yes. Still in a good spot. So we get to... These are all going to go to 1 on my turn. And we get to clock hand. We get to clock hand next turn. Tick this to 0. Oh, gosh. Well, now I don't know. I think we just clock hand, right? I think it's clock hand, make this an 8/8, and then next turn we get a bunch of 8/8s. We are still dead to rallies here, is noteworthy. But we're pretty hosed to rally regardless, and they didn't have it last turn. We're fine on board space, right? And then if we get to, if we go to their turn here, we've got double Frostbite and a bunch of 8/8, so we should be good to go.
One banner, one destiny.
Sure. These are a few of, oh right, one of those had doubles on it. I forgot we had doubled one of them. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't expecting the other 8/8.
Lift your banner. Show them our standard.
A symbol worth fighting for.
Oh, so we actually would have had more. Play capture an allied, a unit or landmark. And that's fine, right? So we let this happen. And then we avalanche to kill these. And then this takes the spell shield off of her, so we can also entomb her if need be. Kill 2 of their things and deal damage to a bunch of others.
You are safe in our hands.
Ah, you have my banner.
My prince, how did you escape?
Sisters plus entomb is 6, you are correct. Oh, I could have blighted. Yeah, I should have blighted. That's fine. They're still dead, right? You're correct. I should have blighted there. It doesn't matter. They're dead. You double Entomb, double Fury, whatever you want.
Defend our banner. Don't back down.
-5. -5. Judgment doesn't matter. We have 3 sisters. It was definitely correct to play the Blighted Ravine there though. It's a good show. Overwhelm is in fact a real keyword. Real good keyword. These are my 8/8s. There are many like them, but these ones are mine. Is anybody new dropping in for the first time? Welcome, and a few followers for the Runeterra segment. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I play a ton of card games here. I stream full-time on Twitch in general. We play some Magic the Gathering to start the stream most mornings. I've played a bunch of Runeterra in the past, but it's been a little bit since we dipped in. We've been playing a few decks a week for the last couple of weeks, and it seems like the format's in a pretty good spot. Massaged it around with balance patches in a way that seems very reasonable. Kindred Thresh, probably a control deck, so don't need this Avalanche. No, again, the 3 sisters too. I think we'll keep the Thrall and the Clockwork Curator though. Gonna continue to do Runeterra a few days a week in the afternoons, playing a different deck each day for a little bit. I also have a YouTube channel where everything that I stream ends up getting uploaded to, so if you're not able to catch me live during the afternoons, there's a good place to catch up after the fact. I played some yesterday and the day before this week, so there's a few decks up there. If you go to the front page and scroll down, there's a Runeterra playlist at the bottom. It has all the things since I've been back playing on it. It's at 25 months, Pixie. Bark Beast would imply that they're not controlling. Are they more of a sacrifice build, perhaps? Thresh used to mean controlling, but like I said, it's been a second since I played, so this could be something more aggressive. That's what Bark Beast usually implies. A big spell mana for now. I don't think we're in a rush to take this down faster.
A dark cloud looms on the horizon.
Looms on the horizon. Yeah, mono SI could mean Wraiths is a good shout. If I attack with Lysandra and they glimpse their Undying, this is a 3/3 and can. I guess a 3/3 doesn't eat her, so this is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna attack. If they glimpse this and these bounce, I think I'm okay with that. Well, thanks for the 23 months either way, Carafe. I appreciate you keeping me around. Yeah, it's good to be back, honestly. Like I said, Runeterra's got the best player economy of any digital card game, so I really like it for that reason. It's gorgeous. We played some Jace Lux yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna have to try and brew with Lux a little bit. Her buff was really powerful. Costing 5 versus 4 is a big deal for her. So every time this dies, it comes back bigger. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take the hit for 2. I'm gonna go ahead and Clockwork Curator this other one for now. Because if we draw a Destiny card that lets me double this, I want to double it and then time in the bottle it next turn. Blighted Ravine. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and advance this and attack for a bunch. It's like playing a bunch of imagined possibilities, huh? Take the Preservaria and draws 2. Yeah, I want to Ash Lux is actually the exact deck I'm thinking of too, Titan. I really loved. Oh, I ordered my attackers wrong, chat. Oh no. So I should have put the 8/8 last, so this wasn't possible. We've just only been back for a second. My brain wasn't working. So combat resolves left to right. So they get to go ahead and I kill this. Oh, they had this anyway, so it didn't matter. That's fine. No harm, no foul. Oh, I could do this in response, actually, right? Yeah, this is much better. Okay, let's do that. Because this will kill this before this happens.
Stinging cold.
Nice. And because this puts the damage on here, this gets to deal an extra damage here with the overwhelm is nice. Nice. Good stuff. Good clean stack interaction.
Shall we, dear one?
Yeah, I actually really agree with that, Hidden Flame. The fact that Runeterra has the more player-friendly economy lets you have a much healthier relationship with it compared to a game like Magic or Hearthstone. You don't feel bad ducking out of Runeterra for a little bit and then coming back in later because you're not just like infinitely behind. That's really good. So they're gonna have 2 of these now. What if this is gonna die anyway, so what if I blighted this? And then that gets me another landmark for Taliyah, and then Taliyah next turn will level. I think I like that. I think I'm gonna overwrite this with Blighted Ravine. And then this'll die, and this'll die, and then Taliyah can even copy the Presivarium to draw me some cards. Yeah, it denies a level trigger, because then this doesn't get to slay it. We've been playing this for about 45 minutes. We started Runeterra earlier today than usual. I have to end a little bit early. Now, do I Taliyah before attacks is the question. They have Ruination mana available to them here. And I technically have them dead to opens, but they're also more likely to have Vengeance than to have Ruination. So I think I'm gonna play around Vengeance and play this beforehand. And if she dies, she drew 2 cards basically. So from a value perspective, it's not terrible.
So little when family means so
And I'll have another 8/8 next turn, which is nice. And if they don't have Ruination, playing Taliyah out here is really strong. Well, so balanced means different things to different people.
sleep.
Is something to note. What's going on, Bob? Thanks for the 52 months and the absurdly generous tier 3. So like, when you say a balanced metagame, do you mean the meta is, and I can avalanche shear. I can avalanche shear to stop them from killing my Lysandra because the Kindred goes away. This is really good for us. And then Lysandra leveled makes an ice shard and 2 shards kills them next turn. Yeah, and we're gonna get to draw cards, just in a very good spot here. So like, does balanced mean the games are skill testing and interesting? And that's subjective too. Does balanced mean there's lots of different decks that you can play? Does balance mean there's no polarization among the decks you can play? But like, I think the details really matter in a topic like that, right? Because like, well, if there's 20 decks that are viable and they all have about 50% win rates, but those decks individually on the matchup level are a bunch of 70-30 matchups, but they're all 70-30, so they balance to 50-50 overall. Like, I don't think that's a very good format, right? Where you're like, your match gets decided at the loading screen. It's one of those things that has there's a lot of nuance in it, right? Are you describing Legacy? I don't know, actually. I'm not familiar with Legacy or Modern in their current states, so I don't have strong opinions on either of those formats for Magic. Aren't they just Monkey versus Monkey the format? Monkey. I think we full mulligan looking for Thralls here. Do I keep an Ice Shards against the Teemo deck? Am I supposed to keep an Ice Shards against the Teemo deck? I'm probably supposed to keep an Ice Shards against the Teemo deck. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Archetype diversity also matters. If there's 20 decks, but they're all similar archetypes, I wouldn't consider that to be a very good format a lot of the time. Mushrooms could talk. I think I just Avalanche here. Just keep this thing for putting caps in my deck.
Runaway bike.
Yeah, for me personally, Unreal mid-range, that's like my metric too. And I think a more concise way to say is mid-range viable is that question of how I always like to put it, does attacking and blocking matter? That's for both Magic and Runeterra. If choices you make while attacking and blocking are meaningful, I think these games are both really good. I think Runeterra and Magic share that similarity. That's a good metric for, are these games worth playing, in my opinion. And so far coming back, that's why I've enjoyed Runeterra. I feel like I've had a lot of good attacks and blocks lining up for things.
Been a fun guy.
I think I'm okay with this trade, so I'm gonna offer it.
Creeps in.
You're okay with the 2 deal? For people that are new to Runeterra, there's 7 puff caps in my deck. There are things that I'm putting puff caps on my card, and whenever I draw a card like that one there with a cap attached to it, it deals a damage to me. It's like a trap card. That's a trap!
Curiosities lie ahead.
This is going to 3, this is going to 2, this is going to 1, and then Imagine Possibilities finishes it.
I had a fair little low. You are quite right.
So they're getting to trick one of the cards in my hand by adding 2 to its cost. That's fine. Do you have a Teemo? Surprised you haven't foiled out your decks. I mean, for what it's worth, a lot of the cosmetics I have on like Magic Arena are things that the stream donated for. Chat, I already spend $2,000 a year on Magic Arena. I don't need another platform where I do that. Please, chat, I have a family to feed. I could make an 8-8 here, but I think I'd rather have two 8-8s next turn. Do I want one 8-8 now or two 8-8s later? I think it's two 8-8s later.
Vandal Scout recruit came up, ready to learn.
Summoned or round end, do 3 puff caps. Decks on enemy cards are double. Traps on enemy cards are doubled when activated. Interesting.
Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the ground.
Oh, should we time in a bottle before we tell you? Maybe? Maybe?
Hot on the trails.
I think I just make two 8-8s here and set myself up for open attacks, right? I'm gonna skip because none of these cards seem very good. Yeah, if you need to refresh your page, pseudonym. I'm also new to some of these cards too. So it puts flash bomb traps, deals 1 to a random ally. Okay, so it's like a puff cap, but it can hit my board. 5 traps have been activated. Strike, plant 4 flash bomb traps, the top 10 cards, and deal damage to enemy next to the number of traps you've activated this round. Oh, they're looking to get double. Yes, puff caps are traps just like her flash bombs.
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
He's dead, Jim. You've murdered him. We're just supposed to smash here.
Telling yourself in?
Tap that shield.
F.A. Grande, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning.
Laying the ground.
I've memorized all the Vandal Scout rules.
An expert is at work.
Yikes. All right, we need to get Lysandra down, shit. Lysandra,
And my aim is excellent.
we need to tough it up, shit. All right. Tough it up, shit.
I will remind the world of true power. A dark cloud looms on the horizon.
Yeah, we are gonna need to frostbite Caitlyn so she doesn't plant a bunch of traps and trigger. Because her strike, she doesn't technically strike if she doesn't have attack.
One step ahead.
Let's talk about your dad.
And they knew about that frostbite because they tricked it earlier. Ow! Got him? Do we got him? Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Oh, shit! Alright, hit me, dealer! Oh, no! Oh no! Oh no! Alright, sometimes lucky. Hashtag sometimes lucky. Good shit. Lysandra with the MVP save there for sure. She told us to toughen up, Buttercup. We were like, yes, ma'am, will do. This game looks incredible. Runeterra is the most visually stunning digital card game you will ever touch. It is. It is very, very good. I think we mulligan this one. I think this is like fine to like get an emergency advancement in the late game when it's worthwhile, but this into these seems plenty good for now. I'm gonna try and find like the double up one or so. Favorite champion, if any? Zoe, not close. Zoe is my bae. She's adorable and her character is adorable and she's exactly the style of card I love playing in card games. Arena was fine. I just have to end streaming a little bit early today, G-Arc, and I didn't want to cut out either of my non-arena segments today. So I decided to do my arena segment shorter. I think I clockwork curator here so they don't get a freebie on these. So we Preservarium. Am I supposed to Preservarium? So I need to think about board space. So if I do this, this is gonna go away in 2 turns. So next turn, I'll Promising Future. Then the following turn, this will go away and I'll tell you this. Yes, that's fine. Oh, you know what? I probably should have opened attacks before they could play something bigger. Because if I could have traded these, that would have been good. So I probably missed 2 points of damage by playing this out. I'm supported by an ally, give my supporting ally +1/+1 this round. That's pretty good. Did this card not make the support decks good enough? It seems like a very reasonable piece. I don't think we're in danger of dying this turn. So we do this. So this doubles this. Or sets it to double.
No time to rest.
And then, so this is gonna go to 2 on my turn.
Just like the Elefloop said. Perfecto!
I mean, training the 4 new champs. Nah, I don't think I've played any of the specifically newest ones. But like, I've been out of Runeterra long enough that a bunch of the things that are new, there's a bunch of things that aren't new that are new to me. Is there anything that I risk having kill me if I go to 6 here? Is there anything that can kill me if I go to 6 here? I think we go to 6. Okay, so I'm gonna go, so we just pass and bank our spell mana. This goes to 2. And then we get to Taliyah, copy it. And then we get to imagined possibilities this turn. So that way on their turn, these are both at 1 and pop off. And these are both doubling with the promised future.
Concentration.
So if we do this, I'm gonna have 4 8/8s next turn. And if they don't open attacks, this ice shard is gonna end their whole career. They might just open attacks though.
No.
Whoa, dizzy. Come on, Rib.
Oh, am I dead to this? I might be dead to the elusive. Because of Lulu. You might be dead to the elusive because of Lulu. Get this deck code. It should be available on the overlay. Mobilytics overlay should be on.
Vroom, vroom. Tremendo!
Die. Fight. Kill.
Technically not dead on board. Dead to a stiff breeze. Yeah, GG put it. Really close game. Needed a frostbite. We need one of our 5 frostbites. If we had a frostbite there, we'd have gotten him on the backswing. Right, we only have 2 succumb to the colds. Imagine Possibilities has been reasonable. I see why the 2 copies are there since we've been playing more. Preservanist has also felt good though. We need a stiff breeze emote, mood. Pantheon revitalized Terra commit. That makes sense. There was a Tarek. So you're actually probably pretty good. I don't think this deck's that aggressive. This is an aggro deck, right? How aggressive is the question? Yeah, there was a Demacia Tarek deck I played last time we played that had the rally spell with Tarek. Or are these just elusives?
forest and I are one. Light steps.
I don't think I have a really good baseline to talk about power level of decks because of the rank that I'm playing at. I've also only been playing decks in like 90-minute chunks. I tend to like to shy away from making too strong of opinions on things that I don't have a good bit of experience with. Do they have anything that punishes me for going all in on this landmark, chat? What punishes me for going all in on this landmark? Homecoming. Recalza, landmark, Chris. So I guess in that case with Lysandra? Yeah, Homecoming's a card they've definitely played against me before. I didn't realize that. I think I want to do this because of board space considerations rather than Lysandra.
Want the branches.
Steps into moonlight. It's slow.
Just gonna pass here because I'm only burning 2 mana and they're burning 5. And if they take the pass here, that's fine for
First
us.
step's the hardest.
This isn't even that good. It's fine, but like. So we're gonna bank 1 mana and then go up to 6. So we really want to draw another time in a bottle next turn, so that way we can level up Lysandra. Because if we draw time in a bottle, we'll have 7 total mana. So we'll get to Lysandra, double time, pop this off, level Lysandra. Tavern Keeper. Yeah, I think that's the play.
There's some takers, you know.
And then honestly, we might just time in a bottle this turn for the sake of predicting into our draw next turn. Well, at least we played around that to the best of our abilities. Skip here.
Wild hearts should run free. I have mastered the rain, lightning, and cloud style.
I am fortunate in that the dozen or so hours I've been back playing Runeterra, we haven't run into Lee Sin. Card's a toxic stain.
Let's talk about your deck.
Yes, this matchup seems impossible. Multiple homecomings, basically just hard counter when our next string. We'll just concede that one if we run into it again while we're playing this deck today. As long as that deck exists, this deck that we're playing seems like it could never be better than a C tier pile. And this is actually just the same deck, right? With a different champion instead of Alright. If we hit it a third time in a row, we're gonna start Rune King. We'll play for another half hour, 45 minutes, or until we hit that deck again. So, my dislike of the Lee Zoe deck, for people that are new, is not related to the power level of the deck. It's related to the play patterns and lack of interactivity around the deck. I talked a little bit earlier about how whether or not combat and attacking and blocking matter are the things that I really care about, and Lee Sin's a good example of combat just not mattering. Yeah, I think Runeterra is pretty good. It's also got the most player-friendly economy of any card game you'll touch, so it's like pretty cheap / free to dip into. Honestly, I might just keep all these. This is probably an aggressive deck where Avalanche is good and like Succumb to the Colds of Thrall, and these advance it, so. Yeah, Lee, well, that's part of the thing too, Jespa, is like, I don't know what Lee Sin looks like today, but last time I played, Lee Sin was playing Bastion and Denies and Nopifies, so like, not only was removal expensive, but it also just wasn't good to play removal spells against them because they just countered your removal spells. I mean, like, obviously Avalanche isn't good against their two champions. Avalanche is ideally good against the rest of the cards that they are playing. Things like Squeaker here. I am familiar with Minimorph. That does at least beat the Deny / Nopify part, but it doesn't beat Proactive Bastions, right? Man, that's a 4/4 for 3. Lee doesn't play Bastion currently. Sure, that's good. The fact that it's turn 4 and we don't have a Thrall in play yet is real medium. Pop this off this turn for sure.
Let's talk about your task.
What's it called? The Bastion nerf was a long time ago. Bastion hasn't been nerfed since it was made 4 mana, right? Lee definitely played 4 mana Bastion for a little bit. I played against Lee with 4 mana Bastion before I took a break from Runeterra last time. It might be right to wait to put this on here because they're noxious. They could have the 3 mana destroy target damage unit or landmark card. It's pretty good. Fleeting cards are temporary for those that are new to Runeterra.
You shall die when I let you.
Pass here because they have a fleeting card and other things. They might play some stuff out into this. And if they don't play into this, I think that's fine for us. They just take the pass and burn a bunch of mana. Because I'm only losing 1 mana here, and they're currently losing 4.
Let's turn up the heat.
Blood must pour, the eyes must see.
And the fact that we didn't get a Thrall into play until so late. It's real rough this set.
Need a light?
Rouse them all.
As intended.
I assume they're about to burn us out here, right? That's the reason they put us to 3.
Nope, don't need this.
They're gonna kill us run a ton of burn. That's good for us.
Oh snap! It's Scion.
It's them that snap rumble. Watch.
Okay, I mean, this is going to 1, and then we get to get 3 8/8s on open. Plus, we have a way to entomb a blocker out of the way. We could theoretically kill them here, right? They could be dead.
Lamb to the slaughter.
Prove your worth.
Boys, the boys are here. And they're hangry, chat. Pray. Fingers crossed. Everybody clench. Oh my gosh, chat. Just moments before the disaster. Okay, so with this, is there any reason to flash freeze instead of entomb? Does flash freezing instead of entomb play around anything? It plays around second whirling death. So it's better to freeze here, right? I says they're dead. Click OK. Good stuff. Skin of her teeth, champ. They should have blocked with rubble. If they block with rubble, they force me to entomb there. Right? And then I could still win assuming no second whirling death. The ice shard could also theoretically be used to push more damage with the overwhelms, right? We had an ice shard in hand and 4 resources available. Okay, so definitely mulliganing these. I don't think Avalanche is good against Taric Pantheon. I think we keep this because it draws 2 cards eventually, but I want to mulligan the rest of these, digging for a Thrall to start. Going on, dude. Yeah, catch us at the tail end. Actually started Runeterra a little bit earlier than usual today. And that is a great descriptor. This deck is a hoot when it works. That asterisk definitely belongs there, though.
Cast off your fear and stand as one. Cry war! Lock shields!
Some large lads, shit. Some large lads. We are in fact in danger. I think we do this. Okay, everything turned out better than expected. You may have an attack token. We take those. We take those.
I will die.
Oh, that's scary. Are they gonna kill us on opens? We could be dead on opens, chat. Oh, I have a frostbite here. Is fated heroic? Yes, that is fated as heroic. Accurate statement. I don't think I have time to tell you this, chat. Oh, once a turn heroic is a good asterisk. It only triggers once per turn.
Welcome to the tipsy hour. To death I go.
I go ahead and throw this in front of here. This having lower toughness makes our overwhelmed orc better against it. Also, putting all these to X1s means that Ice Shards has a lot more potential here. Started a coding boot camp. You know, I've never done a formal boot camp before, but it really depends on how you learn with things. Like, I know I personally learn better with hands-on stuff, so I always, for me, learning coding stuff always sticks better if I sit down and build something that I'll actually be able to use.
Stranger.
I'm ready to shine.
I think I heal me and not this. I was a teacher in a former life, yeah. Yeah, I have a master's degree in mathematics. I spent some time teaching at high school, college, and university level.
I see the heavens aflame, God's burning in starfire.
Yes, what Dude Light said is very true as well. Learning specific programming languages is often a lot less important than being able to solve problems. Because even if you're familiar with whatever programming language the place you're going to work utilizes, their tech stack is going to generally be unique, especially if they're working with closed source software. So they're looking for people to be able to adapt to their tech stack. How does this work? So this stuns this? When this attacks, does it get to stun another thing now?
then.
I see her.
Oh, Tarek says single target. Okay, got it. That makes sense. No, it looks like it just doesn't cast again. Which is fine for us.
Unyielding. Die. I've carved meat bigger than you. Kill.
I think I'm supposed to do this. Thanks, base. Wait. So if I'm just gonna avalanche. I was gonna say I could blight it and then instant sentry it to be cheeky, but avalanche just makes more sense. Where are Thralls? We're winning this game without Thralls, chat. It's fine.
I am the protector.
It's not a big deal.
of the mountain.
Oh wait, he's an 8-4 now. Yikes. He's an 8-4 now. Well, that's not very good. I guess I can force Tarek to trade, right? So we can Blighted Ravine. And then, oh, Taliyah would have leveled. Maybe I should have done that instead. I'll take a listen. I guess there's a chance this summons the one that stuns something too, right? Okay, that's some bullshit right there. Random. It's rigged, Chad, it's rigged.
My shield is yours.
All right, so they're super dead, Chad. They're super dead. Taliyah's gonna copy one of these. We'll get to attack next turn. It's no big deal.
The Frost Guard rule the Freljord.
All right, let's get in one more W with this, and then we'll swap it over to some Rune King. I think I'm gonna do one more. I want to play some Rune King today. We ended Magic early, so I didn't have to cut my Rune King segment. Rune King's been good. Okay, so I think we again keep the Preservarium. And then mulligan the rest, looking for a Thrall. I am, Ferrix. Yeah, I poked back in and was having fun with it, so we're playing again. Runeterra's economic model makes it very easy to dip into and out of, so it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get back into. And Riot seems to like me, so they let me stay in their league partner program even while I was taking a break, so I still have plenty of wild cards, so shout out to Riot. Tomorrow afternoon, we're gonna be doing some Pokemon Unite live after I'm done with Magic. We'll have some more Runeterra next week for sure.
I am ready.
A dark cloud looms on the horizon.
Yeah, Riven's Blade seems like a pretty natural fit to go in with Pantheon. You have called my Lysandra. Okay. The question is, am I going to die if I take some time to mope around and get this thing set up? So this is going to 6 on their turn. I think I need to play Lysandra this turn, as awkward as it is to put another Thrall onto the board. End the round. End it.
I'll show the hunters.
Foolish child. Feel the power of true ice. The Watchers.
You said you weren't happy with the state of the game, and instead of blacklisting you, they rebalanced things. Hey, thanks for the raid, Lana. Hope you had a good stream. For folks just coming over from Lana's channel, we're currently playing some Legends of Runeterra. It's Riot's all digital card game based on the League of Legends IP. Oh, this is probably going to be our last game on this. We're going to start some Rune King here in a little bit, which is another Riot game, but it's a single-player RPG. Welcome on in. Got to decide here. So they used their attack already for the turn. I think I want to time in a bottle here to get the predict in to set up our draw a little bit for next turn. Ooh, another time in the bottle is great. So this is going to 4 countdown right now. It'll go to 3 on my turn, and then it'll go to 2 on theirs. This time in the bottle can pop it off on the next turn, so I think we want that on top. I'll pass priority back to them. Remember, our 2 mana can carry over into the next turn, so we'll end round. They'll carry over 3 of their 4. We'll carry over 2 of our 2. Part of me wants to just pass here and see what they do. Because I feel like if they just pass the turn, if both players pass, the turn ends. But because I have these countdown things going, the turn just ending kind of benefits me more than them. So I kind of want to see what they do.
Heart and blade.
Yeah, so I want to Promising Future. Oh, you're saying I should just tell ya? Yeah, it's probably greedy to try and Promising Future first, huh? I'm only at 14. The big greed play is Promising Future and then Taliyah and then Time in the Bottle, but they get to deploy a lot of stuff over that time period, right? So if I time now, I can then Taliyah to make another one at 1 and then have 2 8/8s on their next turn on defense, which probably is ideal. So we do this first, because Taliyah creates an exact copy. Oh, I could pop them this turn, couldn't I? Oh, I'm gonna put the 3 sisters on top, so I have a Frostbite in the tank. Yeah, we could do that and get offensive here, huh? With the Imagine possibilities. I could also level Taliyah by playing this out. I kind of like getting the 8/8s ASAP. I just like get in there. Let's just make some 8/8s. When these finish, we get 8/8 friends. And Then I don't think I want to run Taliyah into their 3/4s, but the 8/8s can definitely crunch. And then with the 3 sisters on top of our deck representing a Frostbite to wipe attack off one of their things, they should mostly be locked out here. I think this cuts a lot of the routes to victory. What does Taliyah do when she levels? She gets a little bit bigger, and then her leveled mode. Oh, speaking of level ups, Riven coming in hot here. When Taliyah levels, she deals 2 damage to her blocker 3 times, and if it kills it, she deals some to their Nexus. I'm glad we packed.
Really just needed some.
I'm glad we packed a Frostbite last turn with the Predict.
The cost of war. Stand back.
Oh, I obviously should have clicked this the other way. It doesn't matter, but I obviously should have put Taliyah in front of here and Frostbited this. In my brain, they were in the other order. In my brain, they were in the other order on the board, and then they changed the order when they attacked.
I'm cold, I'm hungry, and there's rocks in me boots.
There's
I'm
rocks
sorry.
in my boots. Uncle Funkle. Yeah, we've been back to doing Runeterra a couple times a week. It's pretty good. Yeah, we should be fine. Like it's a clockwork hand, which will let this turn into an 8/8 here with Overwhelm. And they already played 2 of their stun target thing cards last turn to try and push through. They played 2 shield vaults, so should hopefully be done here. It's spinning their tires trying to draw something relevant, but I'd be surprised if they have anything relevant. We're just solidly wide at this point. We're wide and tall. A lot like myself in real life, chat. I'm both wide and tall. How tall? I'm right about 6 foot. I'm not that tall. I'm about average. Actually, I guess I don't know. What is the average height for American dudes? Is 5'8" really average? 6 is above average. I am tall then. 5'9" or 5'8". What was it? I think it was Dude Light said in chat, this deck is really good when it does the thing. Is definitely accurate. Succumb to the Cold was a card that didn't exist last time I played this deck. It is definitely a solid addition. You basically always need to have one of your Frozen Thrall cards early. So the fact that this is another card that does that for you felt really good. The Preservationist definitely felt like good additions to the deck. I definitely felt myself struggling to have enough ways to take the Thralls down aggressively, and having a couple more ways to do that felt very, very reasonable. So if you like a do the thing deck that pops off with a lot of big chunkers, I like where this ended up at. You will have, that being said, while you do pop off in big ways, the games that you lose a lot of the time, is probably the games you lose often are going to involve you just kind of flopping around not doing anything because you didn't have a Thrall to start. All right, let's play some Rune King, huh? It's been